Well, listen, on your next trip to the Big Apple, you may want to think about it again if you're a smoker, because you know what? They've upped the smoking ban. The city's health department issued an outdoor public area smoking ban yesterday that makes it illegal to smoke in public beaches, plazas, boardwalks, and parks. And you know what? That includes Central Park. Violators face a $50 fine per violation. As for enforcement, the city says it will mainly rely upon signs and social pressure from peers. And I have to say, though, in New York City, if any peer pressure is going to work, it's those strong New Yorkers.
Absolutely. I grew up in New York City, Midtown. This reminds me of the don't honk. I was going to say your name, and then I was thinking the word honk. That's what happens. Don't honk. $350 fine. They used to have those signs, you know, that said, don't honk, honk the horn. And I think it's going to be like that, you know. It's the peer pressure thing. No one ever gets a ticket for honking,
right.
Or using
you just
that
must
horn.
Be chastised.
Right, exactly. So maybe it'll work.
I think, if it works, it'll be nice. I know a lot of people are very active in Central Park, running and things like that. Right. And there's nothing worse than running through a cloud of someone else's smoke.
Right, and we also forget that a lot of cars drive through Central Park too. So it's kind of
it's huge.
I also feel like there's a lot of other illegal activity going on in Central Park that maybe should be number one on the priority list, not smoking.
We're talking, beaches. How many people just are laying there in the comforts of their own little
giant
blanket?
ashtray. As a smoker, I loved the beach because you could always find a place to stick.
And as a non-smoker, I hate the beach because it's just cigarette butts.
Right.
It's bad for your skin too. All right, we're going to move on to this next story. If you want to feel healthier and happier, you may want to try to add a little culture to your life. That's right. A Norwegian study found people who visit museums and the theater tend to be less anxious and depressed and in all-around better health. Researchers say the more culture, the healthier you are, especially in men. The study found men who are interested in watching a performance or taking in an exhibit rather than actively participating in it themselves benefited the most. Huh. What do you think of that?
I mean, I think this is an interesting story, but I don't think it's a cause and effect sort of thing. I think the two just go hand in hand, because if you've got, the disposable income to be going to cultural events, you probably also can spend more money on a gym membership or eating better. So it just so happens that a lot of people who do cultural things are also more healthy. I don't know if going to a gallery will make you more healthy, but maybe it will.
Yeah,
Dr. Ellie, that actually sounds that sounds very reasonable.
I totally agree.
All right, we're going to move on because you know what? We're all in agreement with that one.
No devil's advocate here.
This one, though, everybody's going to agree on, too. From Tiger Woods to Barry Bonds, these days pro athletes, they aren't making very good role models. But this next pro athlete you're going to meet, well, he has become a knight in shining armor. Chicago Bears rookie linebacker J.T. Thomas met 14-year-old Jocelyn Lavelle, who has spina bifida, and she has to use a wheelchair. And she learned that she didn't have, when he learned she didn't have a date to her school dance, well, he asked her. Jocelyn had told him that all the boys she'd asked said no. So that night, after she said yes, he rented a black Chrysler, bought her roses and a corsage, and then took her to the dance. And Jocelyn then introduced her to some of those boys who had said no to her invitation. And this is going to make you cry because this is extra. He had learned about Jocelyn's situation because she rode the same bus as his 7-year-old autistic son, who he gets on and off the bus in Virginia every day that he's in town. So he met her, he learned about her plight. She was crying. He said, you know what, everything's going to be okay. And then he asked her and did this. And she said later it was the best night of her life.
I can only imagine it would be. Obviously they've created some kind of a connection and they have a bond, and it went more than just meeting that famous person and getting an autograph. He took it to the next level big time, and I think a lot of athletes out there should learn from this.
Right.
And hopefully they will.
Do you know who I think should learn from this is the other boys who turned her down?
Well, that's
right. Just going to a dance with somebody like that is not going to make you weird or people be mean to you. So I think it may have been a good lesson for all of them.
Absolutely.
And you know what else she said? She said that what made it the best was that she didn't have to ask him. He actually asked her, that she had to ask the other boys, and they all turned her down. I love that story all around. J.T. Thomas, great guy.
Yeah, let's wish him well in his NFL career if that ever gets going because of the whole lockout right now.
All right, Ellie, you're taking